Good evening, and thank you very much for coming to our studio.
Thanks for having me.
And why do we value human life so much?
Maybe because nature is full of species killing other species.
It's also full of species not killing other species. It's also unfair because nobody else wants to do anything else that lions do. You notice that convenient argument? We just want to do what the lions do when they eat antelope.
No, the argument is it might be quite natural to kill animals. Maybe you should do it in the most humane way possible and
like
not exaggerate.
Holocaust?
What?
Like a humane holocaust?
But animals are eating animals. But it's part of our circle of life.
Known as the circle of
it's
torture
like
and death.
When you see
known as the circle of torture and death.
When you see
a lion eating a zebra,
Okay.
and you're.
But I
you're
notice
saying,
you have
okay,
clothes on. And I notice that you have a cell phone and you have a computer. It is unfair to pick one thing that lions do that you want to mimic when you don't want to mimic anything else they do. When lions walk up and greet each other, they sniff each other's ass. When I came in this room, you did not kneel down and sniff my ass. When I came in this room, you did not kneel down and sniff my ass. Okay? Lions sometimes kill their young when they're runts. Okay? If a human being killed their baby because they didn't want him, we arrest them and charge them with murder. Could you go to a courtroom and say, hey, but Your Honor, lions kill their babies, can't I? It's
But
an
it's
unfair.
their survivor.
It's an unfair comparison. You're not a lion.
When you see a lion eating a zebra.
You're not a lion.
When you see
Not a lion.
Yourofsky, good morning.
Good morning.
One of the fears of the Ministry of Education is the way that you choose to provoke your agenda, I think. And in schools, they might think that it's inappropriate. What do you think?
Well, first of all, I'm here to speak on behalf of the most oppressed, most abused, most murdered group of beings that has ever existed, the animals. I speak against speciesism in the same way Nelson Mandela spoke against racism, in the same way Dr. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and Rosa Parks spoke against the evils of racism.
Like if, let's take for example, some farmer far away, maybe far away in time, in the past, grows an animal and the animal has a wonderful life, grazing and enjoying itself, and when the time comes, he kills the animal in a nice way, the nicest possible. This is not rape. This is not Holocaust. This is the way of life.
Okay, so if I go and meet a woman at a bar, I buy her some drinks, I bring her some flowers, I take her back and put on some soft music, some Teddy Pendergrass, and we dance and we look in each other's eyes, and I slip her a date rape drug and rape her. Is that humane? Why not? She didn't feel a thing. See, because the act of rape is evil, okay? The act of murder is evil. You can't do it in a nice way. Okay, we have to stop thinking that there's a nice way. In fact, you know what the nice way to kill is? Not to kill. See, we can't throw this word humane out there when we're talking about rape, torture, and murder. You can't put the word humane next to it. Doesn't work like that. That's not how the world works.
What about the argument that families send their kids to school, families that eat meat send their kids to school. They don't want their kids coming back from school and say, hey, we're vegetarians or fruitarians from today.
What's wrong with somebody choosing to be compassionate?
Hey Mom. I learned in school today that I probably shouldn't be supporting the suffering and death of animals with my food choices. I think I'm going to go vegan.
What? No. Don't do that. Please, little Johnny, no.
Wait, why? Didn't you raise me to be nice?
Well, protein and I think, yeah, meat. Do that, okay? Yeah, right, yes, got it, Johnny? Don't listen to these anti-animal abuse people, they want to reduce suffering. But protein.
Okay, never mind, I'll pay for animal abuse. Thanks for the insight, Mom. You're a legend.
That's my boy, now go abuse some animals.
Wait, Mom, they told me I can get protein from plants. Can I just eat plants for protein so I don't have to harm animals?
Little Johnny, please, shut the fuck up, you little shit, and eat some bacon. We've been eating bacon for thousands of years, and, yeah, protein I guess, got it?
Okay, Mom, thank you so much for that reasonable explanation. I love you.
בסדר? אבל לא משנה, אפשר גם לספר את הסרט בלי להראות את התמונות. כי התמונות, תלמידים הרבה צפו ביוטיוב בסרט הזה. השוואה לשואה, אמירה שכל ילד שאוכל בשר הוא בעצם רוצח, הקשר בין הומניזם לטבעונות, זה דברים שלא הוכחו. אפילו בהיסטוריה הייתי אומרת שיש כמה הוכחות הפוכות בעניין הזה, אבל לא ניכנס.
אבל למה לא לפתוח את ראשיהם של התלמידים לשמוע דברים אחרים?
מפני שזה לא זה, אבל לא ניכנס.
אבל למה לא לפתוח את ראשיהם של התלמידים לשמוע דברים אחרים?
Alright, so every time I bring up like veganism, people are always like, can't we just eat the animal after it dies of natural causes?
Actually, that is a loophole. Just so you know, I wasn't raised this way. I was a meat eater. Even when I found out about it, I was like everyone else. I didn't want to stop. Even though I was going to the slaughterhouses, I was crying and weeping. I was filming some of this stuff. I still was a stubborn addict. One night, I'm just raking my brain. I'm like, oh, there's got to be a loophole. How can we do this? No slavery, no murder. Now, I'm always honest, so that is a loophole. You want to walk through the woods and find an old rabbit, an old squirrel, an old deer that died? I have no ethical objection. Now, I have a health concern, but, as I said during the speech, I'm not the health police. You want to make yourself sick? I don't give a shit. If you want to kill yourself, I think you've got a right to kill yourself. It's your body.
Do you believe in God?
Yes, I do, absolutely. I will talk openly about God. I don't believe in organized religion, but I absolutely believe in God. I believe in the garden of vegan.
Ever since
they were in the vegan, that's why they were in the vegan world.
It wasn't that, it's because they're DNA.
Garden of vegan.
So I'm just pointing this out to everybody, because people don't realize how much they're harming animals in their daily lives. So as I point out, the steak, the hamburger, the chicken sandwich that you're eating, the schnitzel, okay, these pieces of meat came off the bodies of living animals who didn't want to be murdered, who didn't want to suffer and die, who didn't want to be tormented. So once I point it out to people, most people, sane people, logical people, make that next step to veganism.
I'm teaching people about compassion, and listen, if 60 billion land animals end up cut into pieces, what is it if it's not murder? A party? A barbecue?
דיברתם איתו, דיברתם עם אנשי התנועה וניסיתם לנסות למצוא דרך כזאת?
אנחנו כבר, זה לא פעם ראשונה שאנחנו משא ומתן בתהליך הזה. אני לא דיברתי איתו באופן אישי, אבל כל מה היום אתה יכול לראות את כל מה שאתה רוצה בדרך האינטרנט, צפיתי בהרצאה שלו, ראיתי את הסרט, עוד נשים.
את צמחונית בעצמך, את צמחונית בעצמך, את צמחונית בעצמך.
זה לא קשור.
אבל למה לא לפתוח את ראשיהם של התלמידים לשמוע דברים אחרים? So Gary, you came here for 3 weeks to give endless lectures in schools. Now, you don't have the lectures. What are you going to do?
No, I do have lectures. I have lectures in colleges. I have lectures at auditoriums set up. And I'd like to know, if you want to ask her in Hebrew, what's the effect of lying to kids and hiding the truth to kids? They tell kids that it's okay to eat things that come out of a hen's ass. They tell kids it's okay to eat things that drip from animal udders. They tell kids it's okay to eat flesh and blood, and people are upset with me?
We'll try to translate.
Do you accept or do you understand or that people are calling you terrorist?
Sure. What else are they going to call me? You couldn't sleep at night if they called me a compassionate human being, because I'm calling them out. And as we go back in time and look at all the other people that we adore now, collectively, we all agree, Gandhi and Dr. Martin Luther King and all these people, Rosa Parks and Cesar Chavez, you know, they were not loved during their time. They were despised. They wanted to make change, massive change. It's only later on that a society looks back at revolutionary activists and says, oh, man, he was great. He was just trying to bring peace and justice. I'm trying to bring compassion to this world. It's amazing that I'm called a terrorist. And if I'm called a terrorist for saving animals, what do we call people that kill animals and torture animals and eat animals? So how come when one human dies, it's a tragedy? But when billions of animals are killed with premeditation, it's a celebration. And what's really odd about this tragedy-celebration dichotomy is that besides some kind of a self-defense situation, everyone knows that killing is evil and wrong. Because every time a bear kills a hiker, what do? Start singing Hakuna Matata? Praise the hiker for being part of the circle of life? Tell his family, well, he just wasn't fit enough to survive. Bullshit. We scream bloody murder. Label that bear a homicidal maniac. and get a bunch of people with guns and go kill that bear for killing the hiker. Funny how the circle of life never comes into play when we're getting killed. And that's because the circle of life ain't nothing but an aggrandized, arbitrary, bullshit excuse to torment and kill somebody else with impunity. It's a cute story. It really is. Written, directed, and produced by us. The killers. The dictators. The victimizers. The victims in this psychotic scenario are not willing participants.
Dude, even vegans don't get your weird, stupid wannabe sense of irony here. Who's your audience? Nobody gets these dumb jokes. Dude, even vegans don't get your weird, stupid